Hey everybody, it's me, Richie, and Richie's Rainbow Ride. I'm doing my hair house call day, and I had recorded a video this morning and I hadn't posted it, and I was in the moment of emotions. And as I'm driving, I actually started watching somebody else's video, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, I think I need to re-record the video from this morning from a more neutral space, so that I can understand. Wait, I'm screaming unicorn energy right now. We're gonna talk about two things really fast before I go inside to my guest's house. And I call my hair girls my guests because we're guests in each other's energies. And they had asked me, why do you call them guests? And I'm like, because we're guests in each other's energies, and they really like that. So, it's very interesting. As I'm being gifted abundance this week from the universe with my hair career, which is something I thought I was supposed to be transitioning out of. And I leave that up to divinity at this point, because however abundance comes, and it's not always about money, it's also about other stuff. But that's not what this video is about, so I digress. It's about two things. I think the first one that a lot of us starlighters and light workers and ascension, the word bringer wants to come to my energy field, so I'm just going to run with that, because that's kind of what we're doing. We are helping to bring Gaia's ascension, is about an energy gun, having a clock to our mind. And I've caught on that sometimes that tends to get the better of me, and it causes a little bit of a spiral. And before I became conscious by stumbling on certain YouTube videos, much love to all those out there, I was kind of doing my thing, and I was evolving along and was happy, and then I started watching YouTube videos. And there are things that I need to be ready for, and in our human experience we have free will and we have choice, so if it takes us a little bit longer to get something done, it gets it done. But I've had a few earth souls come in, like swooping in when I'm about to make a decision on something, and sometimes that decision comes out of nowhere, and they look at me and it's almost like the angels are speaking to me, or divinity is speaking to me, and they're like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be there for you. And it resonates and it energizes, and then I let it settle a little bit, and I'm like, but there's a reason why maybe I feel I'm supposed to act, because it is our also personal journey while we're doing what we're doing. And that led to a little turmoil. And then last night I had a conversation, and I know I'm working on self-love. I am definitely not afraid to admit that, and I truly believe that's the first step in feeling self-love, is admitting, hey, I'm working on it. So if you're out there working on self-love, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's actually something to be really proud of, because most of us are not taught self-love. We're taught to find self-love outside of ourselves by assimilating and acclimating and programming ourselves, which is why I love the video I posted before when I tapped into where past pain was coming from. And it's kind of up there with the word crazy as well, especially as we're doing what we're doing, and to everybody else, we look like we're nuts, and we've probably been called crazy most of our lives. Oh, I know, I have. And that's something that I also need to deprogram, because I'm not crazy, I'm just me. But aside from that, I shared with an earth soul about, she realized, and divinity told me to shine this light to both of them, but not tell them. One realized that she was actually related to one of the energies that I drew, one of the star energies, and the other one, I feel like I'm a part of a mission to help see if there's growth there. And we are also missions for each other to see if someone's going to grow. And that was something that was random for me, because it's like, I'm doing what? And then you start to see it, and they're also there to help us grow, triggering, seeing if we're open. So while I was speaking about some stuff that's going on with me and a very close family member who I've always intuitively knew something about, and now it's like right there in my face, this beautiful earth soul, and again, it's their knowing level, their knowing of what they know, basically took all of my ascension stuff and threw it out the window. And I sat there and I'm like, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what about that? And then as I'm sitting there, I came in with a wound that was open and divinity had already put salt in it. So it was like, oh my God, this hurts. And then I went in looking for help and guidance. And I kind of was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden we touched base on self-love. And I'm like, I know I'm working on that. I'm like, all right, let me see the light, shine the light on me. But then we went to something as simple as, why do I wear a hat all the time? I wear a hat all the time because honestly, I haven't got my head shaved. And I don't really love the feeling of seeing this bald top with these sides. You know, that's why. But then it was like, I felt like the word prodded, and I know that could be related to trigger, started coming out. And I'm like, well, also, you know, kind of reminds me of like my dad lost his hair and I thought I was gonna lose my hair. And like it turned into something else and it turned into something else. And then I started to feel like more salt was being poured on my wound. And listen, I'm all for divinity shining a light on something, but it felt like too much salt was being poured on a specific wound. And you know, when we're really doing our work, and we all know sometimes it's really freaking painful, I don't think divinity wants more salt poured on it. And if it does, it's more like a shake, not a pour a whole box on it. All I know is I went home and I questioned everything, even my ascension process. Everything that I came back from the dead to do. Because I was dead for 3 days. Like, I took 90 pills, attempted suicide, dead, came back. I remember everything on the other side now, finally. And that was intense. And then I cried last night. And I felt really alone. I haven't felt like that in almost 2 years. So I went to sleep. Nothing came through in my dreamscape. I think divinity and my higher self knew to like let me have my evening. And I woke up this morning and I went from sadness, and it's kind of like a breakup, sadness to anger and then to love. But in my meditation, it was a super awesome meditation. Like I came out of it and I was like, I haven't had a meditation like that in a long time. And I didn't even care with what was going on. Like I know my twin is healing me from a distance because I feel it. It's like fire in my heart, and I immediately know where it's coming from, and I know that spectrum is coming. But this is just a video out there that, you know, yeah, there's being too open with our stuff that's coming through and blah, blah, blah. And then I think there's also being too open with our vulnerability and our rawness. And, you know, if someone's going to project what their version of ascension is to try to literally eradicate what your version of ascension is, you have to look at that just a little bit. And it didn't help because with this energy gun feeling to my head, that it was kind of like a whole just not fun thing. And apparently my master Reiki attunement has caused a lot more stuff to come ripping through, and then all the stuff that's getting ripped out by the energies that are going on and all that stuff. But I had a moment this morning and I recorded it, and it was, I don't think I was angry. I'm going to watch it back and see where I was, because maybe I will repost it. Maybe I'll post it. I don't know. But this is more of just like, self-love is not easy to begin with. And I know how I'm guided to teach, and I teach from experience. And if it doesn't make me feel good, I'm definitely going to teach from that perspective of, I know how speaking to somebody that way made me feel. So let me speak in a different way. And sometimes just saying something as simple as, you're safe. We're going to make this work. I literally, something from Twitter just came on, and the word thanks. Like, I love when divinity does something like that. I just love it. I just love it. Because I know there's somebody out there that's going to see this and they're going to be like, holy crap, holy fuck, I needed to hear that. Because we're already doing work where we're like, oh, and that little word, safe, it's okay. And I said it while I was driving, because whenever I'm driving, I'm like having a whole conversation with like the higher ups and all that stuff, and they've yelled at me, they're like, stop texting and driving. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I stopped for a while, But I forgot how healing it was, because that's how I came up with the grain of sand today while I was driving. And it's the same thing that happened now. I was watching a video and all of a sudden I'm like, yo, I got to put this video out. Like, my higher self was, please put this out. Somebody out there needs to hear this. And if it's one person, that's it. That one person helps another person. And you see how that light just spreads like fire. And you're safe. And interesting. You're safe, and it's all gonna be okay. We'll figure this out. That little statement right there, it does so much for someone's energy. It does so much for someone's energy. I know if I'm speaking to somebody and they're saying something and I'm being stubborn and I don't want to hear it, 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 eventually my higher self will say, why don't you shut up and listen? And then I look and I go, you know, that's interesting. Maybe I need to look at it differently. But this felt a little different. This kind of just felt like excess salt being poured on a wound. But it helped. Listen, it did help. And luckily for me, I'm strong. I can bounce back. But I know that there's some out there that, and I've come across them. They, you know, if someone's black and blue, let's not punch them more with the boxing gloves. I love that. Interesting. Anyway, much love, my loves. Please subscribe. And I know in my heart space this is going to help somebody out there. And be mindful to sage. I keep my sage in my car. I'm actually going to sage before I go inside because I feel a little knocking right here. That's time to sage. And I'm actually being pushed to talk about what I'm feeling right now. So right here, I don't know if anybody else out there has ever felt this, where it feels like a psychic drill is trying to break through your skull. And as I'm recording this is the third time it's happened. And it started about a week and a half ago. And I know where it's coming from because light doesn't hurt. And that's why I think I'm being pushed to talk about this, because I know somebody else has felt this. And that's someone trying to break into your field. And because my field is so strong, they're not getting in. I can actually pull. You can pull this stuff off of you. And just like that, delicately, poof, gone. So much better. Seriously, I'm being very serious. Remember Harry Potter, Hogwarts, what's his name? Dumbledore. Pulled it right out of Harry's mind. We are that strong and we are that magical, and we can do that. And you'll know where it's coming from. You'll know in a heartbeat where it's coming from. Make a wish. Transmute it. I love that. That's like a download right there. When we're doing this kind of work, we're getting downloaded. When I'm doing my light activation, I'm getting a healing as well as you guys. Yeah. For some reason, I need to say this. If someone's calling you crazy or making you feel like they're crazy, or you're crazy, look at your actions. Say, why? Why are you? What am I doing? And if you can't place it, then you know it's projection. Little food for thought right there. All right, love you guys. Please subscribe. I need to go about saging my little gay ass right now and go make people feel pretty. All right, love you guys.